Good morning and welcome. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. There we go. This is a live radio broadcast on the Q. And welcome and thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Georgia Real Estate Group radio broadcast here on the Q every Monday morning, sharing with you positive news about our local community and fascinating news about the local real estate market. And so excited to have the conversation today. And before we get started, just a quick reminder, we're located in Flat Rock, the Georgia Real Estate Group. We serve all of Western North Carolina and upstate South Carolina. We have an incredible group of agents here to serve our community, whether buying or selling or investing in real estate or even a career in real estate. We'd love to have the conversation. So grateful. We just recently passed over 1,400 families throughout the years selling and helping our clients buying and selling real estate. And if we can help you, if you're just curious what your home is worth, if you want to have a conversation, if you need help, last week we had our Jim Rawlings with our quality home consultants who are so gracious. We're so thankful for their sponsorship of the radio show. They do an incredible work. And you don't even have to be buying or selling. They have a septic repair service, septic inspection, home inspection, radon pests. I mean, they're a great service. If you have any questions about your home, I would totally recommend Quality Home Consultants with Jim Rawlings. Give them a call. Mention them that you heard them on the radio, and then you can find us online at realestatebygreg.com. You can also go to our, you can also subscribe to our podcast. We podcast all of our radio shows. You can stop by our office there in Flat Rock. You can call us directly at 828-393-0134. Mandy Green, good morning. Thankful to have you here with us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And our special guest, which is one of our incredible agents, Andrew Merkins with 828 Biz, is also here on the show this morning. Good morning, Andrew.
Hey, Noah. How's it going, man?
I'm good. I'm so grateful to have you with us this morning. And we've been working together for a number of years. And in addition to your incredible work in real estate, you and your wife have an incredible business called 828 Biz.
Yeah. So kind of the advent of all that was a few years ago. I was talking with a mentor of mine, and he's like, you realize what you built? And I said, no, I don't. That's why you're my mentor. You tell me these things.
Tell me what I don't know.
Tell me what I don't know. And he said, look, you've built this amazing marketing engine. You need to package that and take that to the community and offer that. And we started that in 2022. Last year, and we served over 50 Western North Carolina businesses last year offering advertising, marketing, and web design. So It's been a blessed journey already.
Incredible. And again, small businesses, I mean, America runs on the backbone of small businesses. And, the small businesses that we have here, and you're serving small businesses through this technology service. But you have let's go back to your background. I mean, you've been involved in technology and business for decades now.
Yeah. So went to school. Grew up here, went to West High, and then went off to Furman for a year and played way more video games than I studied. And we all know how that equation turns out. It ends up with you deciding if you're going to stick it out or move somewhere else. And I got offered a full-time job in IT, and so that started my journey in IT. Dropped out of school, did that, and it was an amazing time. Learned a lot on the job. And did that for several decades, kind of worked my way up through the food chain, so to speak, here with different companies and different positions. And then went into real estate and did that full time for several years and loved that every minute. And then, like I said, had that conversation with my mentor, and 828 Biz was birthed, and we're loving it.
That's amazing. So when people think of like marketing or technology, I mean, that can be overwhelming for a lot of people. And you guys
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
So overwhelming. If it's not overwhelming before you start doing it, then you start doing it and you realize that you need to feel really overwhelmed because it is a whole different language.
It really is. And, you can just run a quick Google search and immediately be overwhelmed. And like social media search, where do I need to show up? What do I need to do? And we kind of try to simplify it so we answer those questions for people in the most easiest, cost-effective way for them. And really, we boil it down to two things: paid search and paid social. Because if you're showing up and getting found in search, and if you're showing up and getting found on your social media, then people are going to find you, and we're going to put in these conversion apparatuses so that they convert and become customers and, make it as straightforward and good experience as possible.
Did you learn how to do all this in your IT job?
So, yes, some. So, interestingly, as I kind of did different positions, I got to the point where I was a director of a couple IT departments. And with that, I actually birthed two different IT divisions and did all their branding, all of their marketing, So it was basically like a startup inside of an existing business. So we did a lot of branding with that. I'm actually executive director of Full Power Ministries. We've done a ton of marketing around that. And that's, if you guys aren't familiar, we actually release online content, YouTube videos, social media content to equip and encourage Christian men in their walk. And the first year that we launched that, we reached over 160,000 people, and that's because of the marketing. So,
yeah, right. It's so funny, not funny, but it's ironic. Again, a lot of people might advertise their services or their, like, hey, we're going to help you. You've done this, like, for yourself. It's like, you're not just, it's proven. It's like you've actually implemented the things that you're now implementing, for your customers.
I think a lot of people are watching social media, right? And they think it seems really easy because it's kind of like when you're watching, I don't know, anybody doing a professional anything, ice skating or something. It makes it look easy because they've been doing it for a long time. Mm-hmm. But those YouTube videos and that content and those Instagram videos, that's not simple stuff. The lighting and, there's just so many elements.
Yeah, and I think the little nugget of advice that I always give to people is bring a business mindset to it, because if you're not releasing content that's bringing value back to your customers, they're going to tune out, you're going to lose them, and you're not going to convert them. So lead with value, give something that's going to give back to them and help them nurture and grow their business or whatever their endeavor is, and then they'll have you top of mind when they're ready to take on your products or services. So, you can definitely get down in the weeds with it so quickly. And again, we try to take that element of complexity out of it so that you guys can just focus on running your businesses.
I noticed on your website you have, which I love this call to action. It's so simple, is 20-minute free consultation. It's kind of like the front and center. So when you go there, then okay, I can book a free consultation. What's going to happen during that consultation?
Yeah, so it's kind of a meet and greet. So we can't do our job effectively for our clients until we know them, we know their businesses, what are their business goals, because if you just kind of go in without any kind of understanding of what they're trying to achieve, the entrepreneur or the business owner, you're actually just kind of throwing darts in the dark. You just can't see what you're aiming at. And so we actually take that discovery call so that we learn about what they're trying to do so we can actually offer solutions and services that marry up with what they're trying to achieve and not sell them something they don't need, obviously.
Yeah, you just like us, when sometimes we have these consultations, you're like, we might not be a match for you, and that's okay.
Yep. Absolutely. And we have had those conversations. And, one thing that I always tell people is if you decide to sign up to do the 20 minutes with us, you'll always leave with value. We give you DIY tips in that conversation. We do basically a rundown audit of your existing online presence. So you'll always walk away with something that will help you level up your business.
So will you also give, are you going to do some sort of a pricing estimate in that? So people could maybe pick and choose. If they couldn't utilize all your services, they could utilize some of them?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of once we get a grasp on where we're going, like what path we're aiming for, then we'll actually provide them with estimates on the different solutions and different components. We try to keep them pretty straightforward and a la carte. So again, they are able to match it with their business goals and their financial budget for their marketing. So if they want to take a bite out of this piece right now and then move that a month later, we've actually got a great program right now. It's $900 a month, where the first $900 we completely overhaul, update, and optimize their Facebook business page. So that's the foundation level. Next month, $900, we're actually doing an ad campaign to get them over 1,000 likes, because that helps the algorithm to actually give them the credibility to put their content in front of people. And then the people that do find them say, hey, look, they've got over 1,000 likes. This is obviously an established company. So that's the second month, $900. And then from on there, we do another $900 a month. And that's where we're doing actual ads that drive customers to your page so that we can convert them into, buying your products or services.
Wow. That's really
very simple and affordable.
Affordable. And as the business owner, you kind of like learning as you go a little bit, it seems like, because you're going to benefit, but you don't have to feel that sense of overwhelm, because actually 828 Biz is really doing it, but you get to learn and feel a part of it and not feel so overwhelmed.
Yeah, and we really try to meet people wherever they are. Like if they want to be more DIY with it, we'll just kind of augment and supplement wherever they may have a weakness or an area where they don't have a high competency level. So we'll just kind of help people. But if they want us to take it over, lock, stock, and barrel, we'll make it happen.
I can imagine there's a lot of small businesses out there that they have an incredible and wonderful, brick and mortar business, here in town, and then they just haven't ever dipped their toes into the digital world.
Yeah, and we see that quite a lot. And over the last couple of years, kind of the trend that has changed, and all the way back, we can point actually to 2015. That was kind of the death of organic reach. And what I mean by that is like your online presence from your social media and stuff like that, it no longer the algorithm won't propagate it out to people that it thinks will connect with you. Facebook, Google, all the big players made it pay to play. So now you have to run the PPC, the pay-per-click ads, to actually get that reach that you would have had pre-2015. So with these local brick and mortar stores, especially around Western North Carolina, you're kind of at the point where, you've been riding that wave, a lot of goodwill in the community, a lot of word of mouth, and that's still, we drive home that is the best way to cultivate business. But you're probably seeing a little bit of a decrease in the flow of traffic to your brick and mortar store. And that's basically because there's a high likelihood you haven't really taken the time to optimize your online presence. And, like I said, looking into PPC and your social presence is huge.
So here's the thing, too. I mean, and this would go for nonprofits as well, because we have a lot of people that are listening right now and they're saying, well, I don't have my own business. And so, but you're involved in something, whether it's your church, your kid's school, whatever nonprofits you support, and this is something that could really help them. But I think also you may be so busy in your small business and not even thinking that thinking that your word of mouth referrals are enough. But you got to think about who your competition is. I mean, I'd be curious to see what you think about this too, Noah, but like your competition is, I hate to even say the names of the big box stores and the people that do the free 2-day delivery and all that. We already know who they are because we all use them. But I think everybody deep inside truly wants to use the small business. Like we all want to support those small businesses, but maybe we can't get to your store right away. Maybe we aren't thinking of that name right away. So we just go to one of those other ones. We do the fast and easy thing. But if you're front and center for us on our social media, then it's going to be top of mind and we're going to utilize you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I had a choice a few weekends ago. My kids, my son he's playing on tennis and on the tennis team. And so we were like, hey, let's go play some tennis. And so, but we realized we needed some new tennis balls. And I consciously made a decision. It's like, of course I could run by, Walmart or Target. I was like, I'm going to go check Sherman Sports downtown to see if they had tennis balls. And they did, of course. And it's like, it felt great to support, just in that conscious decision to go, not necessarily with the most easiest or convenient or the cheapest. And I didn't even compare. It's like, no, I'm going to go support local and buy tennis balls from Sherman Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so strong. And, the way we kind of get the presence for local businesses and nonprofit organizations front and center, as we call it, omnipresence campaigns. And we'll actually strategically have a kind of plethora of ad sets running at the same time on different platforms so that, again, typically people need to see your brand about 7 times before they decide to, hire you or move forward by purchasing your product. So that omnipresence campaign that we structure specifically will get you out there so that, again, you're getting that FaceTime with the people so that they're thinking about your brand. And when they need tennis balls, they're like, man, I'm going downtown. I'm going to Sherman's.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, these top of mind, and it's top of mind. And again, so Andrew Merkins with 828biz, you're doing these free consultations, and you can go to 828biz.com. And if you're listening, again, Mandy, to your point, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's a church, whether it's any organization can utilize your services.
Yeah, absolutely. We, like I said, we were able to actually help over 50 organizations last year. I'll say predominantly they were local service-based industries. So a lot of the people the real estate agents, the plumbers, the septic guys, the deck builders, the construction guys, the graders, the excavators, that's kind of people that we have had huge success helping.
That's amazing. And Andrew, I'm no surprise you're incredibly successful at the 828biz. I mean, you did it, and you continue to do an incredible job with your real estate license and with the clients you work with, and then your previous career. Again, this has been a culmination of just steps in your path to lead you to where you're at now. And again, I know you're still helping people in the real estate industry as well, and we're so thankful for that and having you at the George Real Estate Group. And so thankful to have you here on the show. I wanted to make sure we talked about getting you here on the radio and getting some exposure to our listeners, and just thankful and able to support what you're doing in the community, making a difference with small businesses. We do have a short break coming up here. You're listening to the George Real Estate Group live radio broadcast here in the Q every Monday morning, and we will dive in. I do have a little bit of an update for the real estate market, just some numbers, and we'll hit that in the first half of the beginning of the second part of the show. But Andrew and Mandy, thankful to have you both here with us this morning, but stay tuned in. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. You're listening to the George Real Estate Group radio broadcast here in the Q every Monday morning. Grateful to be here sharing with you positive news about the local real estate market and the community and supporting local businesses. And Andrew Merkins with 828 Biz, who supports local businesses and works with local businesses. I mean, it's local business is so important to this community and to people creating their lives that they want. And they're businesses meant to fund our lives, right? Your families. And Andrew, I want to also give a chance for you to share about your family. I know your family is so important to you as mine is as well. I mean, like, family is so important. I know that's part of what drives you and what you do. And before we get started, just want to thank Quality Home Consultants, our radio show sponsorship. Jim Rawlings, they've done over 35,000 home inspections in Western North Carolina. That is a significant milestone, and they are who we trust with our home inspections, our pest inspections, radon. They also do septic inspections, septic repair. If you need their services, certainly reach out to us. We're glad to connect you, or you can look up Quality Home Consultants. You can call them directly. Just a quick market update snapshot. The average single-family home price in Henderson County over the last 12 months, $527,000. That price continues to go up. Over the past 12 months, that's almost an 8% appreciation during the previous 12-month period, and that's a direct correlation of the supply and demand. We continue to see demand, albeit lower. We're averaging about 121 single-family homes a month selling, but we've consistently, the demand is outpacing the inventory. There's only 244 active single-family homes in the entire market in Henderson County. That's significant, and that's what's driving the prices to go up. It doesn't mean things aren't available. It's just things are still moving quickly. Over two-thirds of the homes sold in Henderson County in the last 12 months sold in the first 30 days. The average price is at $525,000. We're averaging 121 single-family homes a month selling. And one way to think about this is imagine a bathtub, and right now the drain is bigger than the water coming into the bathtub, so the water level just stays low. I mean, the amount of inventory is lower coming onto the market than what's being absorbed. I mean, that might not be the best example, but my point is,
a pretty good example.
Did that make sense?
I got the visual.
Okay.
Yeah, the water stays low, the drain is bigger.
Yeah, the drain's bigger than the bathtub, and so you have right now we have less than a 2-month supply. And so imagine like 2 inches of water versus, I mean, they say a 6-month supply is considered a balanced market. The amount of inventory hitting the market versus the amount of inventory leaving the market, and so that's what causes supply and demand. That's what causes when you have more demand than you have inventory. That's what causes prices to go up. And so therefore, until we see more inventory than we see demand. And if you're waiting right now, and I hear this, people are waiting, I'm waiting for prices to go down.
They're not going down.
Keep holding your breath. And especially if interest rates go down, because already interest rates they've come down a little bit, but even at this rate right now, the sixes, the 6 and the low 7s, the homes are still moving.
Yeah.
And that's because life happens, therefore real estate happens. And, and I keep reminding myself and our team, I mean, we're not going to participate in this perceived downturn. I mean, I'm so grateful. We're actually up over 200% year to date as a group versus last year to date. And it's through the incredible efforts of our agents and everybody. So we're so thankful. So if we can help you in any way, whether buying or selling, give us a call at 828-393-0134. Andrew, I do want to make sure we talk about your family. Tell us about your family. And I know this is one of the biggest drivers of what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I got a shout out to my beautiful wife, Fernanda. She, full-time stay-at-home mom, so she works more than I do, and she helps me out with the business. So, shout out to her. You probably see her on social media because even though that's one of our core businesses, I don't like being on social media. I'll just say it. It's not fun for me. But if you see us on social media, it's probably her. And so super thankful for her.
By the way, there's a difference. You're an expert in social media.
Yes.
You choose not to participate in social media.
Yeah.
Well, you're behind the scenes,
Yes.
right? Like the
Yes.
Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Behind the green curtain.
We participate very much on the professional side, not so much on the personal side. So, shout out to her and all she does to contribute to our family and keep us going and keep us strong. It's amazing. And then shout out to our little 6-year-old boy and a little 4-year-old girl. Bennett is 6. Camilla is 4. Bennett started kindergarten this year. Super thankful for that. He's enjoying it, thriving there. Amazing. And Camilla started preschool this year, so she's loving that too.
Some big milestones.
Yeah, big milestones.
Big milestones.
Yep. So yeah,
I know
rocking
that, and I know
rolling.
your family's. You're one of your big whys as to what you do. What you do.
Yeah, it is seriously my biggest motivator because at the end of the day, that's why we made it a priority for Fernanda to be able to stay at home because we believe that nurturing and instilling Christian values and good principles and being a good citizen. And, I'm even taking the initiative to kind of instill some entrepreneurial kind of stuff, even at 6 and 4. We believe that, encouraging and upbuilding our kids is our primary calling, and 828 Biz is a way for us to give back to the community, but also a way for us to, again, kind of teach our kids, how to run a business, how to interact. Bennett and Camilla actually came with us to Fletcher Area Business Association. I presented a couple weeks ago at their coffee, and they were able to be there and a little apprehensive to go there because they didn't know anybody. But afterward, Bennett's like, when do we get to go back?
That's awesome.
This is amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, growing the family from the inside out. That's so fantastic. Little entrepreneurs, little hard workers, seeing you do it.
Yep.
That's amazing. Well, we were talking off air during the break about, this is something that comes up a lot is artificial intelligence and AI and how this plays into, your world, all of our worlds. I mean, like a lot of people are maybe dipping their toes into that, but you made a comment that I thought was fascinating about that.
Well, I think we have to kind of take, as small business owners here in Western North Carolina, we have to take it a little bit with some caution because what we're seeing is we kind of have this propensity to keep up with the bigger dogs in the game, which means producing more content more frequently, higher production value, and AI is a great way to augment that. The challenge, though, is what the big players like the Google algorithm, Facebook algorithm, what they're doing is they're actually adding audits and checks into their algorithm so it identifies if content is AI generated or if it's actual, breathing human being generated. And if you're generating content predominantly with AI, you'll actually get dinged, and your SEO, your search engine optimization, your ranking will go down because you're not generating human-based content.
So that really makes it challenging for the small business owner to keep up with the big corporations, right?
It does. And what we always coach our clients on, and we talked about this a little bit on break too, is build out your ideal client avatar. What are their hobbies? What you want to live and breathe these people. What are they thinking about? What are they like? What are their families like? What communities are they part of? And when you have that, you're able to take that snapshot and say, okay, where are they showing up online? Are they on Facebook? Are they, running searches? What is their search habits in their search history? And you're able to take that and make content for those platforms and strategic moves like maybe if it's search with your SEO on your website so that you're able to show up in a meaningful way to connect with your ideal client in those places, not just broadly all over the board. Right,
because not every platform is going to hit your ideal, target audience. I mean, let's say your target audience is a mid-50-year-old, family, single person. I mean, whatever it is, right? They most likely aren't on TikTok. I mean, like that. I mean, I'm just, there's some assumptions there, but identify who your ideal client is. I love that idea. And then you can target where you're marketing and advertising. And again, even what platform you're on.
Right. Because think about when somebody's selling something to you, you want that specialist. You want the person that's speaking to you, that's really answering it, rather than that broad approach, right? If you have a problem.
Approach.
Yeah, if you have a problem that needs to be solved, you want the person that really knows how to solve the problem.
Yep. Yeah.
So how can somebody best prepare for that consult with you?
So really just it's pretty loosey-goosey, to be honest. It's fun, get to know you, get to know your business, and you don't really have to do anything in particular or special to prepare. It's just a fun time with me or someone on our team to be able to get to know each other and find out if we are a good partner fit to work together and move forward and advance your business goals with some marketing strategy. And yeah, it's super casual.
Yeah, I mean, very intentional. I mean, you're diving in to understand their business more, and that again, when I hear you say that, you're saying, look, don't stress about it.
Yeah. Don't procrastinate.
Right? Well, go do it. But this is Andrew. This is what you and your team do every single day, and it's like, you don't worry about it. You're going to guide them through the process to help them understand, and you're going to understand more about how you can help them best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. And again, it's local businesses that you're doing. 828 Biz. I mean, like that's I love the name and the momentum and the amount of clients you're serving, and it's local businesses supporting. It's local business supporting local business.
Yep, absolutely. So our mission is actually to help 5,000 entrepreneurs grow businesses that support their families and give back to their communities. And, that's really what we believe here in Western North Carolina. We do offer our services nationally, and we've got national customers, but like I said, over 50 here just in Western North Carolina last year. And the big difference that we've seen in all these different markets is nobody has the kind of close-knit community like Western North Carolina does. You can go to even small markets around the nation, but nobody, is as adamant about working with local businesses, supporting local, like here in Western North Carolina. It's just so gratifying to be a part of this community.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, like
awesome.
I say this to people all the time. I'm a little biased about where we live. I mean, for all the reasons, the incredible people, the incredible local businesses, and then the nonprofits that are here. I mean, there is something uniquely special about our community, and it filters through everything, whether it's our schools, our churches, our local businesses. It's amazing.
Yep.
And so we're helping. I know we're helping at the Georgia Real Estate Group. People come here. We hear all the time people move here and they want to shut the door behind them. But that's not fair in the sense of everybody wants to be part of it. And then a lot of people are moving here. They're bringing their businesses with them because of the healthy economic environment that we live in. I think we're only on the tip of the iceberg here economically. You think about the Acosta Trail running from Hendersonville to Brevard. I mean, you see the big money investments like the Fairmont downtown. I mean, that's some significant money being poured. Now, that's a massive corporation that's pouring money into. I mean, so if they see it, I mean, again, there's so much here happening economically, and place to raise your family and have a small business and just enjoy the quality of life that we have here.
Quality of life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what's magnetic about our area and draws people here. And something to your point, Noah, actually of those 50 plus people we helped last year, over 20 of them were new startups.
Wow.
That's unheard of. I mean, the economic, growth that we're seeing in our area, we're almost an incubator for new entrepreneurs to launch ventures, and it's so exciting to be a part of.
Well, and for years though, I'd heard. I mean, Hendersonville and Henderson County you thought it was a retirement community, and we do have a higher percentage of over 55 here in Henderson County. And for decades, I heard a lot of people said, well, if I wanted to move here, I had to either bring my job with me, or to your point, people are creating jobs, they're creating businesses in order to. I mean, I actually had a conversation last week with a young man. He literally, him and his family, left their life in it was in Georgia, and he moved here for all the reasons that we're talking about. And it's like, hey, I'm going to create my life and create my business here. He purposely moved here first. That was decision number one. And then he's like, hey, I'm going to make it work because I want to be here.
Yeah.
That's cool. So he sort of burned the boats behind him.
Yes, he burnt the boats behind them, or burned the bridge behind him. Yeah, I mean,
it's
which is amazing.
I love to hear that, because that's exactly what we coach our clients on. Build a business that you love to own and run. We became entrepreneurs, small business owners, to actually enjoy, have flexibility of our time to prioritize things like family that are important to us, and don't build a business that's just going to bog you down, be an anchor to you. Have it built around your life, where you want to be, doing what you want to do, so that it actually gives life and energy to you, so that it's not just a drain on you. There's always seasons, and this is what I'm teaching the kids right now. There's always seasons where you got to grind and do hard work. That's important. That's part of it. But in the end of the day, have a trajectory of building something that you're proud of. That
a legacy.
You. Yeah, and then is a legacy.
Yeah, and it's easy when you get busy with your business to be working in your business. And this is an opportunity to hire 828biz to work on your business. And maybe you have time to step out and help work on it with Andrew, or maybe you just get on that free consult and then just hand that baton to Andrew and his team and let them take it from there.
Absolutely. We'd love to engage with them in that capacity. And we actually practice what we preach. So we're closed on Mondays, but we're not really closed. We only work on 828biz business on Mondays. We do our own online presence. We do our own, if we've got financial stuff we're working on with QuickBooks or whatever, but we literally take one day a week to step out of our business and work on our business. And that's what we coach our clients on, to make sure that you're, reinvesting in your baby, in your business.
It's a fantastic website, too, the 828biz.com. I mean, it's so user-friendly. So if you kind of want to see an example of how user-friendly your website could be, you could just go check out Andrew's website at 828biz.com.
What are other ways? Is that the best way for people to reach out and get in touch?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best way is 828biz.com. Would love to hook up with you for a 20-minute free consult. You can always find us on all the social media platforms at 828biz. If you want DIY tips, you can go to our YouTube channel at 828biz. And you can always give us a call too, 828-412-0444.
Andrew, so grateful to have you here with us this
Thank
morning.
You.
It was awesome. And again, for our listeners, we've been really purposeful this year about having different guests, and guests like Andrew Merkins with 828biz, different nonprofits, and we're excited to continue our guest series, throughout the year. And again, bringing you value and bringing you conversations, and then we salt and pepper into the conversation about the real estate market. And again, if you're just curious or fascinated or want to have a conversation about what your home is worth, can you sell before you buy? Do you buy before you sell? I mean, whatever that might be, we'd be honored to interview for the job. Give us a call at 828-393-0134. Find us online at realestatebygreg.com. You can also stop by our office at 2720 Greenville Highway in Flat Rock. And again, and also subscribe to our podcast. We podcast all of our radio shows. Just recently hit 6,000 downloads, which we're excited about. Again, we've been doing that now, which is exciting. And that downloads from all over the world. I know a lot of people listen to the Q all over the world. They can see that on streaming. But Mandy, thank you so much for being here this morning.
So great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And again, thanks to our listeners. We'll be here next Monday. And of course, if you need anything, give us a call, 828-393-0134.
The Greg Real Estate Show is a sponsored commentary from the George Real Estate Group. The opinion and views do not necessarily reflect the opinions and views of WTZQ, its staff, and management.